Hey guys, Tony Rowe back with another rapid game against Vincenzo2115. Probably, come on. You have to be kidding me. This is the third game on my channel that has this King's Indian attack against the Alekhine. This is brutal, man. People are just savages. Alright. Jeez, this is sick. H4. This guy's a maniac. Do I have to do anything about that? I don't think so. Wow, he plays H4 and offers me a draw. This guy is a crazy person. He rules in kind of a crazy way. Okay, I'm just going to go H6, the usual stuff. Bishop E6, you know the drill from the last video. What the hell does that do? Okay, I'm just going to do this. Does that hang upon? D takes E4, D takes E4. Let's say queen takes D1, rook takes D1, knight E4, knight E5. Knight E5, knight F2, hitting the rook. Knight E5. If knight E5, knight F2, knight C6, knight takes D1, knight E7 check, king H7. Can he move the bishop anywhere? Can he trap my knight is what I'm worried about. I don't think so. Long line very well could be mistaken, but I feel like White's play has been kind of a little bit suspect so far. So I kind of feel like this line is the principled way to try and exploit that. And if knight E5... Okay, first if rook E1, just very simply trying to get his pawn back. I can go knight C5, I think, right? And it's just protected enough times. Yeah. Or knight D6, either one. So that's fine. Sorry, this is an important decision, so I'm thinking perhaps longer than usual. I'm trying to stay out of time trouble. It's something I really need to work on in my own game, so but every once in a while you gotta invest the time. So DE4, 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 queen D1, rook D1, knight E4, knight E5, knight F2. If king F2, just knight E5 or bishop E5, I think. Bishop E5 hangs the H6 pawn, so knight E5. I think that works. So I'm just gonna do it. Oh my god, I meant to play queen D1 first. No. Okay, I can still do it. If here... Yeah, it just transposes. Sorry. I don't think there was anything actually wrong with knight E4. It's just one of those things where sometimes when you think about... Okay, I should double check here. Sometimes when you think about these like sequences in your head, it's a common mistake in like these quick games or whatever to just play the wrong move in the sequence ahead of time because you're kind of like... It's kind of like when you say a word without saying like the full sentence. You know, you just kind of... You're thinking about the full sentence, you just pop out the wrong word, and I'm going to shut up. I'm not making any sense. Yeah, I think this is just good. I mean, knight F2. If he takes here, I take here, and he's not trapping this knight. B2 is hanging, so he can go knight C6, knight D1, knight E7, king H7, but like bishop d2 or whatever, just, yeah, not very good, so. Now, is there any method to the madness of bishop takes? If here, bishop d4 check is the only thing that really could be interesting. I don't think so. I don't think it's worth thinking about or risking. Excuse me. So I'm up a pawn, and I think I'm also just better positionally. What the heck's this thing? Knight c4, knight g4 perhaps. Rook a d8 is another, or rook f d8. Taking on b7 is not really a threat. Like if rook f d8, bishop b7, rook d1, rook d1, rook a to b8, bishop e4 perhaps, rook b2. That should be better for black. Though, I mean, I can also just go c6 or something and stop all that shenanigans. Knight c4. I don't like c6 as much because rook d2, rook a to d8, rook a to d1 I have to take, and then he gets to take back. So I guess in that case I can go knight c4. There are too many moves here. This is the exact kind of position where I just waste like a gajillion years thinking, okay, I'm just going to go c6. Rook d6. Yeah, I mean, any square he can double on gets harassed by knight c4 at some point, so I'm not super worried about it. b2 will be hanging in that case. Okay, I'm going to go here anyway, I think. If he goes c3, knight b2, and I'm threatening knight d3 check. b3? Okay. You got it. Bizarre game. Totally weird. He just takes back. I don't know what to say about any of this. Knight d5 or bishop d5's coming. Yeah, you can have it. Sure. I'll just go to e8, which probably means I'm going bishop d5 next move. Up a clean exchange at this point. b3 I don't understand at all. And he played it so quick, so fast. Oh, damn it. I forgot to change to light theme again. Excuse my French. And excuse, I mean dark theme. God, I'm dumb. All right, here we go. We're doing mid-game switcheroo here. And I'm going to turn off my script for the Neo pieces. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm an idiot. It's just every time. All right, this should be easy enough. Back to the dark theme. Okay, if I take here, he can take on f7. So I'll just go here. Knight b4 maybe? Sure. Knight g4 is maybe a little bit irritating. He didn't want to play it. Okay, well in that case I'm going to stop it, at least temporarily, with rook e4. I don't like the idea of him being able to play knight g4 to f6. I have some weak dark squares that I at least have to... what now? Okay, that must have been a slip. He probably meant to play rook f6, I'm guessing, but it just doesn't make any sense. Or he was just about to resign and he was just tilting off. That's also possible. I barely even honestly feel like posting this game because, I mean, hold on, can I go back and see how much time my opponent had? My opponent resigned with 13:51 on his clock. It's like, why accept a 15-2 game if you're going to use 1 minute and 9 seconds? Okay, with some increment, so like 2 minutes, and then, you know, blunder a bunch of times and then resign. It's like, it's just totally bizarre. Okay, well, let's take a look, I guess. It's just a silly game. Yeah, so this line is like becoming sort of the staple Tony Rowe opening of the entire channel here. Everyone and their mother is playing the King's Indian attack against the Alekhine defense, which is totally bizarre because probably Alekhine's defense is the worst, I'm guessing, just in a theoretical sense, to play the King's Indian attack against. So normally, white likes to play the King's Indian attack when black has sort of, like, some people think it's only good to play the King's Indian attack when black has made some kind of serious concession, or like relatively serious concession. Like, okay, and by that I mean after knight f6, d3, d5, knight d2, e5, black has been able to take up the full center with using just e5 and d5 both in one move. And knight f6 is a very natural square, so black hasn't done anything crazy. Whereas after something like e6, d3, d4, knight d2, or whatever, black has played e6 and blocked in the bishop, and also if black wants to go e5, black has to waste a move. So in that sense, you know, black might continue with c5 and knight c6. That's the normal way to go. b5, bishop b7, whatever, or bishop a6. But the point is that black doesn't have this very natural e5 setup where his pieces and his development and his control of the center is sort of like optimal, where, you know, and it's kind of the same against c6, where it's not as exciting to go something like this now, because black, I think, can go e5 a little bit, but in this case, c6 doesn't allow c5 in one move and also takes the c6 square away from black's knight. So after this, black has to play bishop d6, essentially, and this is a little bit, I would say, less ambitious of a setup. It's very solid and it's fine for black, but it's not, I think, as strong as what you get in the Alekhine version, where it's actually more popular in this line after g3 to go bishop c5. I just really like playing g6 and bishop g7, but you can see in this variation that black has sort of achieved really the maximal you can get out of the opening, and white's kind of just played, you know, a reverse Philidor with the bishop on g2. It's just bizarre. I get that, like, the King's Indian attack saves you, I mean, allows you to, like, develop your pieces and get sort of a setup that you feel comfortable with, but I mean, it's not like playing these moves against everything gives you the same plan regardless of black setup. You still need to know what you're doing as white, you know, in the French setup with e6 and the Caro-Kann setup with c6 and bishop d6. I guess in this setup, despite Alekhine's defense being sort of rare, you still need to, like, understand the idiosyncrasies of each setup. And so if that's the case, why not just play a normal line against Alekhine's defense where, you know, sure, you need to know some stuff, but you should know some stuff anyway about the King's Indian attack. I guess I just don't get it. I mean, maybe for some people it's to their taste to play, they just enjoy playing these setups, and that's fine, but I don't see it garnering people a lot of, like, real practical advantages. I mean, white was just worse I mean, the whole point of, like, the King's Indian attack is to get out of the opening with, like, a reasonable position with little effort, but I think in this game white is already worse after 8 h4, h6, and especially after knight h2, bishop e6. I mean, white is just much worse, and then he just hung a pawn straight out of the opening. It's just a totally bizarre game. I did mean to play queen takes d1. Whoops. Queen takes d1, rook takes d1, and then here. And I looked at this, but I think after this check here, there's just nothing. This knight is getting out. I'm probably taking on b2, and black should just be stone cold winning, I think. Ooh, yeah, that's even worse than I thought, actually. Yeah, so this is completely unplayable. But if this is unplayable, then, I mean, this is just probably close to loss as well for white. Down a pawn with a worse position. I think this knight on h2, h4, king f2, none of these moves make sense, whereas black's pieces are pretty harmonious, well centralized. c6, rook a to d8, rook f e8, you know, knight c4, pressuring the queen side, all very sort of logical. And, I mean, yeah, and then b3, I don't, yeah, it's just a one-move blunder, essentially, of an exchange. I guess there isn't much better, though. I mean, if you're going like c3 again, I'm taking, and I'm threatening knight d3 check, and you're hanging another pawn, and nothing defends b2 otherwise, so, yeah, like, computer thinks knight f3 is the best move, but it doesn't think hanging the exchange is that much worse, actually, which is not a good sign for white if that's the case. But yeah, I mean, after this, it's just not particularly interesting. It is true that probably here I should have dealt with this a little bit better. Rook e6 would be essentially forced, and after like king g2 or king g1, I can just go f5, I think, which is what I was planning on doing, and just protecting the square, getting this knight out of the way. But I shouldn't even have to deal with this. I should just play rook e4 and stop knight g4, and just a little bit of prophylaxis. And black is just, I mean, clearly winning with no problems. But my opponent missed it, and then either slipped rook f7 or just decided to play one more move before resigning. Some people do that. I don't get it. There are some people that like insist on throwing away all their pieces before they resign. Yeah, at least on Lichess I wouldn't do that, because Lichess tracks your average centipawn loss, and if you plan on using the insights tool, then it'll screw up your statistics and, like, you know, whatever. So, by the way, shout out to the insights tool. If you guys aren't using this, you should probably be using it. Insights, bam, check it out. Wow, look at this. All my ratings are down. I'm just losing everywhere. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to give that game much of my time. No offense to Vincenzo2115. It has nothing to do with my opponent. It's just like some games have such little instructional value, and it's like we've seen this opening like 3 times on my channel. It's honestly 10% of my rapid games now, which is kind of absurd. So, you know, and he essentially played the opening really poorly. You know, I think he just missed that he was hanging the e4 pawn, which is, you know, it's fine. Everyone makes mistakes, and then, you know, the game just, like, devolved so quickly that there's not really that much to discuss. So, on to the next one, I guess. Bye, guys.